Welcome back to another episode. As you can see, the BMW is finally on the wheels. In this episode, we're gonna attempt to do all the electrics and actually make it run.
But of course not without some issue first. Only a few months ago, this was an old dirty BMW that nobody wanted. But with one small idea and not so small work, it's starting to look like a bike I've always dreamed of. The only issue is, it still doesn't run. This is the start of parts that we have to install on the bike to make it run. So this is like a base. What we have here is probably like $3,000 worth of Moto Gadget parts. So we have the M unit, we have the Motoscope Pro, we have all the turn signals and everything. Also the new battery. So a lot of work ahead of us. Let's get it done.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go. Hey. Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at.
And just like that, with a bit of YouTube magic, let me show you the progress of the bike so far. We've done the Moto Gadget inputs, so we have the buttons, 3 on the left, 2 on the right. The plan is we're gonna have turn signals left, right, we're gonna have a horn here, start button, kill switch, and the lights. We have the Moto Gadget Pro Scope right here, and all the electrics. So we are fighting with connecting everything and finding space for it. It's not that easy, but we've created this metal bracket under the frame, so it's all going to be hidden underneath the tank. We have the M unit, we have the fuse for the M unit, we have the relays and the starter relay right here. What else? We have to do the brake switch for the rear, and we have to hide everything that right now is just laying around. Also, the battery will hide a lot of it. And other than that, we mounted the brake so it's easier for moving the bike around, and that's how it's looking like right now. Before we start cleaning all the wires, we wanted to test if everything is working correctly, and then this happened. At first, it sounded like it didn't have fuel. I let the starter off, tried to add some throttle, and bam, no more starter. So, what could be the issue? We heard the solenoid clicking, we thought maybe something got disconnected, we had a lot of loose wires, so maybe something grounded up, but we couldn't find anything. We ended up pulling the starter out again and rebuilding it. It turns out one of the brushes broke. I don't know how it had happened, it was just broken. So after that, we gave it a second try. As you've heard, the starter worked great now, but it still seems to be missing fuel or not having spark. I decided to give it some starter fluid and see what's gonna happen. We got few bangs here and there, but still couldn't start it. This led us to thinking that something must be wrong with the ignition system. We either missed some wire or we connected something wrong, so after digging deeper, we finally found it. We were missing one wire from the ignition system that needed power. And here is the final result of that finding. I was super relieved it started. The idle was a bit high, but we're gonna tune it in the end. So right now we are back to wiring, cleaning everything up and making it pretty again. Oh, and that little heart attack you just saw was me being an idiot and forgetting to wire a kill switch to the bike. Okay, so wiring is taking a lot of time. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm getting a bit frustrated with it and fed up. So I'm probably gonna do a few side quests like mounting the exhaust and doing all the minor stuff that we have to finish. Either way, then I'm gonna get on to painting the tank, which actually already started, and I don't know if it's gonna be in this episode or the next one. But yeah, the wiring is getting into me. Looks like, yeah, a big pile of wires. So I need a break. So, after months of hard work, we've got the bike running. It's time to make it pretty now. So we're gonna start with painting the fuel tank. It's gonna look awesome. Stay tuned. The tank is in a really good shape with some scratches here and there. We're gonna remove the emblems and sand it with 320 grit sandpaper. We'll see how it looks underneath. If it's gonna be good, then we're just gonna put primer over the old one so we don't have to strip it down to the bare metal. Let's do it. Make sure to heat up the emblems before removing them. scraping down the tank, I found a paint chip, so I'm gonna fix it with some Bondo first before we're gonna move on. My dad made a small stand for the tank so it's easier to paint. Before we begin painting, we have to clean the workspace a little bit. As you can see, there is crazy amount of dust lying around, so I spent some time just blowing all the dust and sand out, and then we have a pretty clean space to paint. For the primer, I'm using the 2K epoxy primer. This one is from a company called Novel, but you can use any primer you want. Just make sure the surface is clean and fully degreased before you move on to painting. Always start with the hard to reach areas and then move on to painting the rest of the tank. That way the finish is gonna be a lot smoother and you won't have any paint dripping off the sides.
We've got the primer down. We have to wait for it to cure. Then we're gonna wet sand it with a 1000 grit sandpaper, and it's gonna be ready for the base color. Let's do it.
I'm not gonna tell you too much about painting as I'm not a pro. I was just winging it, watching some YouTube videos in the meantime, trying to set the gun properly. I think it turned out pretty good, so don't worry about it if you wanna repeat what I'm doing or if you wanna give it a go and do your own project. Just don't get discouraged, it's not that hard as it looks and people overcomplicate stuff. So my advice is that just go for it. We got 3 layers of white base coat done, it looks pretty smooth. When it comes to masking, it's all about the precision and taking time. Don't rush it, take your time. If you want those crisp edges, it's gonna take a while, especially if you're gonna eyeball it like I did here. Now with some regular masking tape and a piece of foil we are masking the rest of the tank. And now it's time for the red paint. I would say the most satisfying part of the process, peeling off the masking tape. I didn't speed up this footage, so if you want it you can skip it like a minute ahead, if not, enjoy.
So far, everything was going great. Unfortunately, I made a terrible mistake of not clear coating the base and putting the stencil directly on the base coat. Here's what happened next. Here I've sprayed a very light coat of black to make sure that the stencil is sticking properly to the tank and there will be no runs when I start removing it. I followed it up with a full coverage coat. After letting the paint flush off for 10 to 15 minutes, I started removing the masking. The issue was that the glue of the stencil somehow mixed up with the base coat. I couldn't get it off for days. I tried scraping it off, but of course I damaged the base coat. Here you have the final results.
So unfortunately I screwed the tank up. You can see the glue residue from the template and a lot of paint chipping away. So I have a plan. Maybe it will work out to fix everything. If not, then I have to strip the tank again and paint it all over again. But other than that, I think it looks pretty awesome. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna get it fixed.
So first of all, I'm gonna try to remove the glue without damaging the paint underneath. So I bought some adhesive remover. We're gonna see if it's gonna work. It's supposed to not damage the paint and get the glue off. So, well, it's worth a try. As you can see, it's not working as expected. Unfortunately, the paint is already getting damaged. So, unfortunately, that didn't work out. It started removing the paint as well. So we gotta strip it again and repaint. What can you do? They say in every mistake there's a lesson, so let's make it even better than before. For you, with a bit of YouTube magic, it's just gonna be a few seconds. Actually, it took a few hours, but it was definitely worth it.
We've done the clear coat, now we're gonna sand it down with 1000 grit sandpaper before we're gonna put on the template and paint the Marlboro black.
We got the templates again, so try number 2.
So this time the lettering came out perfectly. No issues whatsoever. So now we're gonna clear coat it and we should be good.
Clear coat is done and drying. There are a few spots with an orange peel that I'm not happy about, but the final step we're gonna do is polish the paint, so hopefully that's gonna get rid of it.
Pretty cool.
And the moment I've been waiting for. Time to assemble the bike and see if everything fits. We start with a freshly painted tank and then move on to the seat. At this point, even my dad got hyped and couldn't help himself but jump on the bike. If this is not worth a sub, then I don't know what is. Unfortunately, few parts are still missing, like the mirrors and the gas cap, the emblems on the tank, but they are all delayed for some reason and I didn't want to keep you hanging, guys, for another 3 months without a video. So here's how the bike looks like right now. It's the first start after assembling it as much as we could to this stage. There is a bit of smoke coming out of the exhaust, which is a totally normal thing for K-bikes that are standing for a long time on the side stand. The head of the bike is actually leaning towards the ground, so just a small amount of oil can pass the rings and then it's gonna cause the smoking after the first start, so nothing to worry about there. And as you can hear, I backed off at the idle screw from the previous start and it's actually working really well now. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this series, please leave a like, subscribe, let me know what builds you would like to see next. In the meantime, I will finish the bike and probably post one more video with the final results, hopefully with some drone and street footage.